The American flag is one of the most recognizable symbols of the United States of America. However, there are 50 of these states within the country, and each have their own unique flag as well. Some flags are iconic and perfectly represent their state's features and history, while others are boring and unrecognizable. Today we're going to be looking at every US state's flag and ranking them from worst to best. I'm going to be using 5 categories to judge each state's flag: its meaning, the pride it carries for the state, overall aesthetic, creativity, and cool factor, also known as my own personal opinion of the flag. If there are ties, I will use cool factor as the tiebreaker. I should also point out that I'm not an artist and I might throw some shade at your state, so don't get too offended. Finally, I'm only doing flags of current US states, so DC and Puerto Rico, sorry, but let's begin, shall we? You're going to notice that the flags at the bottom of this list have one main similarity. They're just the state seal on top of a basic background. In my opinion, this is basically the equivalent of the state government using Slater to make their flag instead of actually doing the work. And nowhere is this more apparent than the state of Washington. I get that you wanted to honor George Washington, but this is just awful. It's a horrible seal and an equally horrible flag. You have great natural features, distinct culture, and plenty of rain, which is what my eyes feel like doing every time I look at your flag. Shame on you. You know what, I'm just going to do a montage of every state flag that falls into this sad and shameful collection of a boring state seal on top of a boring background.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you.
If this video was made before 1900, Florida's state flag would have been included in the previous montage. However, in that year, the state passed a referendum to include the Red St. Andrews Cross as a nod to Florida being part of the Confederate States of America during the Civil War. Don't worry, we'll be seeing plenty more Confederate flags in this video. The flag might have some history behind it, but that doesn't mean I like it. The 3 horizontal stripes pay homage to Missouri's French roots before Thomas Jefferson bought the flyover states from Napoleon for $15 million, and probably a pair of stilts. The state seal isn't doing it any favors, though. Basically Florida's flag without a seal. Another state with ties to the Confederates, Alabama based their flag off the 60th Alabama Infantry Regiment of the Confederate Army, which was a red St. Andrews cross on a blue background. I do appreciate the St. Andrews crosses in state flags. I wonder why. North Dakota state flag is based off the flag the state's military divisions used during the Philippine-American War. That's cool and all, but it looks way too similar to the national coat of arms, so it gets a very low score for creativity. Mississippi is the only state that features the battle flag of the Army of Northern Virginia, more commonly just known as the Confederate battle flag. Is it historic? Sure. Do people have pride in it? Sure. Do I like it? No. Despite what the flag symbolizes, there are no current plans by the state government to change it. With the state motto, a silver star, and sagebrush, the state flower, there is plenty of symbolism in the Nevada state flag, but there's only one problem. It takes up only 1/4 of the flag. That's just stupid. I mean, why would they do that? You have the entire flag. Use it. The Keystone State's flag consists of its coat of arms, but thankfully not a seal. Below the bald eagle are a ship, a plow, and 3 sheaves of wheat, which symbolize commerce, natural resources, and fertile farmland, respectively. It's an okay flag, but not great. Connecticut's state flag has a shield with 3 grapevines on it above the state's motto, which, translated from Latin, reads, "He who transplanted sustains," or at least that's what it's supposed to say. Connecticut does have the largest per capita income out of the 50 states at $39,373, and maybe some of that money should go to getting a new state flag. Delaware is very proud of the fact that they were the first state to ratify the Constitution on December 7, 1787, as that date is displayed on the state flag. There's also a farmer on the left side of the shield and a soldier on the right. Get yourself a state that can do both. Flags that are more unique than others tend to do better on this list, and as you know, states that have the state seal don't do well at all. Oregon is the only state in the Union with two different sides to its flag, but it doesn't help that on the front is the state seal. The other side is a beaver, the state animal. We're finally starting to get into some of the better flags on this list. It might not look like it at first, but there's actually a lot going on with Arkansas's flag. The colors technically pay homage to the Confederates, and there's 25 stars in the diamond to symbolize Arkansas as the 25th state. The diamond itself is actually a reference to Arkansas being the only diamond resource in the United States.
So I am confusion. Why is this one Kansas, but this one is not Arkansas? America, explain! Explain! What do you mean in Arkansas?
Oklahoma's flag is a tribute to it being where the U.S. government sent much of its Native American population. They were also later displaced by Sooners and Boomers. It's certainly a big upgrade from the first flag the state had, which might be worse than Washington's. Yes, there is another state seal, but the rest of Wyoming's flag is brutally honest about things America did in the past that they probably regret. The flag's main feature is a bison who we pretty much hunted to extinction. Wyoming also takes a page out of the Oklahoma playbook, with the red border symbolizing the suffering of the Native Americans. Although Hawaii is the newest state in the Union, its flag is technically the oldest of any state flag, with the earliest version of it being created in 1845. It is also the only state flag to contain the flag of a foreign country, the Union Jack of the United Kingdom, which in turn is featured on many flags of former British territories. Ah, colonialism. This is Georgia's 7th official state flag, all of them being loosely based off the original CSA flag. Here is a brief montage of those 6 prior state flags. This flag, the most recent of the former flags, was hated so much that it resulted in the governor who proposed it being defeated in the next election. The current flag features the state coat of arms surrounded by 13 stars, which symbolize Georgia being one of the original 13 colonies. The Tar Heel state flag is yet another homage to the Confederates, as it is based off of their original state flag that was created when they seceded in 1861. The two dates on the current flag are May 20th, 1775, and April 12th, 1776, the dates of the Mecklenburg Declaration of Independence and the Halifax Resolves, respectively. Because Iowa is another state with ties to the Louisiana Purchase, the flag is inspired by the French tricolor. There's also an eagle carrying the state motto, "Our liberties we prize, and our rights we maintain." So they can maintain their rights and liberties, but they can't maintain an efficient primary caucus. Sad. An unfortunate similarity with many of the higher-ranking flags on this list is that their states don't really have a lot of pride in them, and Indiana is a prime example. The 19 stars symbolized as the 19th state to enter the Union, with the 13 in the outer circle paying homage to the original 13 colonies. There's also a torch to symbolize enlightenment and liberty. It's really not that bad of a flag. Since Rhode Island is the ocean state, it is only natural for the flag to contain an anchor. Around the anchor, there's a circle of 13 stars, and you can probably guess why. Finally, there's a small banner with the word hope, because when you're the smallest state in terms of area, you need all the hope you can get. Louisiana's flag contains a pelican, the state bird, feeding her chicks with what appears to be blood. I guess that makes sense when you have the highest homicide rate in the nation. Anyway, the pelican is also in the shape of a stylized fleur-de-lis, a symbol of French heritage. It's dark, but the flag is nevertheless creative. The phrase "simple yet effective" immediately comes to mind when you look at Arizona's state flag. At the center is a copper-colored star, since the state produces more copper than any other state. Above it are 13 red and gold rays, and below it is a large patch of dark blue that references the Colorado River, since it runs through the Grand Canyon. Speaking of the Colorado River, the biggest feature of Colorado's state flag is the red C in the center. It's red because Colorado literally means red in Spanish. The white and blue stripes represent the snow and sky respectively because Colorado is both literally and figuratively high in the sky. You can also find the flag on all of Colorado's highway markers, which is pretty cool. The Alaska state flag was designed by a 13-year-old orphan named Benny Benson as part of a contest in 1927. According to his own description, the blue field is for the Alaska sky and the forget-me-not, an Alaskan flower. The northern star is for the future of the state of Alaska, the most northerly in the Union. The dipper is for the Great Bear, symbolizing strength. For winning the contest, he won $1,000 and a wristwatch. Nice going. The three stars at the center of the flag represent the three geographic regions of the state: West Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, and East Tennessee. The stripe of blue on the right represents nothing. The flag's designer literally said that he wanted it to relieve the sameness of the crimson field. Okay then. New Mexico's state flag is the son of the Zia, an indigenous tribe native to the state. In a 2001 survey of American and Canadian regional flags by the North American Vexillological Association, New Mexico came in first place out of the 72 flags surveyed. However, this video is obviously different. It's still a great flag, though. The bear flag originated during the revolt of the same name in 1846, when the state seceded from New Spain and formed the California Republic, before eventually joining the United States. The species of bear depicted on the flag, the California grizzly bear, is actually extinct. In the upper left corner, there is a star referring to the territory's Lone Star flag from 1836. But as we know, California is not the only Lone Star state. Palmetto trees are a symbol in South Carolina because of their abundance throughout the region and their ability to withstand cannon fire when used as a building material. The crescent in the upper left corner is supposedly because a state militia during the Revolutionary War had a silver crescent on their uniform. This design of the flag has been heavily commercialized with all sorts of products you can probably buy at any bar in Myrtle Beach. The reason the Lone Star flag is so high up on this list is simple: pride. Texas and Hawaii are the only two states to have state flags that were formerly national flags, since both states were once independent countries. The colors are the exact same as the American flag, with blue standing for loyalty, white for purity, and red for bravery. If you want to see just how much Texans love their flag, just go there and visit yourself. The Maryland state flag is bold, brash, and immediately gets your attention. The black and gold design is the coat of arms of the Calvert family who founded the colony that became Maryland, and the red and white is from the Crossland family and Lord Baltimore, who the city of Baltimore is named after. Even though the design on the flag is old, it still looks modern and cool even today. As a lifelong Ohio resident, I might be a little biased, but hear me out. The fact that this is the only non-rectangular state flag makes it unique and special. Inside the blue triangle, there is a red circle symbolizing a Buckeye nut, a white letter O for Ohio, and 17 stars to show it was the 17th state to enter the Union. The triangle itself symbolizes hills and valleys, and the red and white stripes represent roads and waterways. I only wish more Ohioans took pride in it. Finally, here are the overall results. In this chart you can see each flag's scores for each individual category and compare them to other states. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for making it to the end.